Mr. and Mrs. And they lived happily ever after. Have they? Have you? When was the last time you felt close with your partner in a relationship? When was the last time you felt happy, in love, loved, or maybe loved your partner last time? Your relationship might not going the way you wanted to, you imagined to. You got married and you thought things will be as sparkling and happy and loving for the rest of your life. But then there comes a point in your life when you feel that you're not as close anymore, because you might have had a house and you might need to work a lot. You might need to look after your children, and all the business of life feels like struggling you and your relationship. And you might look at other couples who've been together for many years and they live life as you do, and they're not as close with one another, and they're not as happy as they used to be. And you might adopt the thought that this is normality. That's the life goes. That's the relationship goes in every couple. And you might think it might not be satisfying to you, but that's how life is. But it doesn't have to be this way. You might say, okay, at the very beginning I felt so much in love and I really loved that person and he was so amazing, and he has changed. And he's not as he used to be. He's not as romantic, he's not as loving, and he's not as such. Why? Why do you think it happened? Did it really happen? When we feel in love, we are at the romantic state. When we don't see things as they are. We fell in love with the person who we imagined he's going to be for the rest of our lives. And we tend to ignore those little things, or might be big things, that he does or the way he is. And if you considered whether your partner is really the person for you, and you might have made already decision to separate, this video is not for you. This video is for people and for couples who are committed to work on their relationship no matter what. Because there was one day in your life when you stood in front of each other and you promised to love each other no matter what, in sickness and health, for richer, for poor. And now, so many years gone by, maybe you have very big difficulties right now in your relationship. You come to this point and you say, well, those words doesn't really matter, it doesn't really apply to me now. But then you made a promise to each other that no matter what. So when this time of your life comes, you have to remember what you've promised. And that's the love and commitment to relationship. And that's what really matters. It's always easy to promise something when you are at the happy state. On the day of your marriage, when you felt really loved and beautiful and you imagined all your life how it's going to be. you promised all these beautiful things to one another, it was easy to do so, wasn't it? But now when all the things and all the routine and business happens in your life, or maybe some difficulties happen in your life, you tend to forget or tend to not to keep your promise. So if you are committed to your relationship and for your relationship to work, then now we'll go through different kind of things you both can do for your relationship to work and to last happily ever after. Because all the day business, it doesn't really have to affect your relationship. Of course, you might have had more time before you had children. Maybe you had more time before you were committed to work because you were living with your parents before you got married. So you had more time, you had more money, or maybe you had more freedom. And you might say that the life now is more restricted to your freedom and for freedom for your relationship as two of you. It is some truth in it. But then again, we've always been given 24 hours in a day. And it's our priorities, how we use that time. And we always can make time for things that are important to us. And if our relationship is important to us, we're gonna make time for it. And in the end of the day, you will always be successful at your work, at your personal life, at your personal development, at other relationships with other people, only when you have good communication and good relationship with your close ones, with your partner. Because that relationship will affect the relationship with your children. That relationship will depend on how you communicate with others. Because communication is a very, very big part of our lives. It's a primal instinct for us to communicate. And the way we do it depends on how we feel. I'm gonna go into all these aspects a bit later in maybe different kind of videos I'll make. But for now, I want to concentrate on those little things we do in life with each other. These little acts of kindness we do for one another. If you're not rich to go on holidays every month somewhere nice and hot, you might think that it's not going to sparkle your relationship. That you need something big and effective for your relationship to work. But it's not true. These big things can happen only a few times a year. There might be your partner's birthday, there might be Valentine's Day, there might be anniversaries of your friendship, of your marriage anniversaries you celebrate. And that's just few events in a year when you get to spend time together, when you get to invest in one another, when you get to show appreciation in one another. And just few times a year. Think about if you wanted to have a food party. What would you have to do to gain that? You would need to do the gym or some exercise. You might need to think about your diet. Plan your diet. What what if you was gonna do that only 3-4 times a year? Do you think you would get the result you want? Do you think you would get a body you want? Probably not. Actually, most definitely not. Because in order to gain something, you need to do it constantly. And the more you do it, the more result you can see, the quicker the result you can see. And it's the process as well. It's not the concentrating on the result, because it's the lifestyle of your diet, lifestyle of your exercise, nutrition, and it's a lifestyle of your commitment to relationship. When was the last time you was grateful to your partner for going to work, for coming back home, for working so hard so you could get the money for everything you need? When was the last time you was grateful for your partner maybe taking your rubbish out? When was the last time you were grateful he took you out for dinner? When was the last time you were grateful for maybe a cup of tea? And then, when was the last time your partner was grateful to you? When you done such things. It's the little things every day. Appreciation of one another. Being grateful for the little things they do for you. Because if we have adopted the thought that they have to, because they are fathers, they are mothers, they are providers, they are married, so they have to do such things, then it's not going to work. No one has to do anything. But it's very nice and appreciative if they do. And it changes our point of view. It changes our perspective, how we view our partner when he does such things. We appreciate and we get appreciation back. You know, there is a saying that two become one. And in fact, our wedding rings, we've been married, me and my husband, for 12 years and been together for 17 years. We have these beautiful rings. A white gold and yellow gold. And we have engraved dates inside. One is engraved when we got engaged, and another has engraved the date of when we got married. And these two rings, they have these parts and they connect. They connect. And they become one. And when we got those rings so many years ago, we thought, how romantic, how beautiful to become one. It is very beautiful, because your partner becomes part of you, you become part of your partners. And if you have separated, it's so painful, because you became one, you became close. But the aspect of to becoming one, the little risk, I might say, that people think, if I'm one and he is one and we connect, so whatever happens, whatever problems we have, and my partner might not be responsive and communicating, I might just go halfway to meet him, only halfway. So I'll have input into a relationship just 50%, because I believe that that's half. And then my partner has to come halfway, and he has to put in 50%. What if you do your 50 and your partner doesn't? Will you meet? My strong belief is that in order for a relationship to work, you both have to put 100% in. You both have to walk to one another 100%. That's how you're gonna make your relationship work. Otherwise, you're not gonna meet. And if you're not meeting for a very long time, you might need to consider counseling, maybe someone who is professional and doing really good work and works with relations with each of you separately and together. But if you're doing your 100%, I also believe that sooner or later you will get a result. You might not get it straight away and you might get discouraged. But if you continue doing nice, good, little things, eventually your partner will notice them. Eventually he will appreciate it. And he will give you something in return. Because years and years ago, you did get in love. You did get married. You did feel happy. I'll have little videos on everyday little things. What you can do for one another. Maybe you can do for your partner if he is not engaging yet to work on a relationship. There will be little things. Most of them are very fun. Most of them are very obvious. But they're obvious because they are little and they're small, but they're effective. Because if you would try to do something big and massive and extraordinary every day, I don't think we would be able to, firstly. But then we would probably spend a lot of money and a lot of energy and effort, which we probably don't have it in everyday life. But those little things you might have used to do when you just met at the very beginning in your relationship, and you might have done them, or some of them, and they were really nice, but you forgot them. So those little everyday things, they might help you to get connected to your partner and to feel in love again, to feel connected again. I believe that we don't stay in this romantic, in love feeling for the rest of our lives. I don't think it is possible. The love is it's like gradually changing. It's like I have a comparison to old wine. The older it gets, the better it gets. And relationship, I believe too, the longer you are together, the better, the more committed you can be, the more loyal and reliable you can be to one another. And that love becomes so mature, so come so close. So watch other videos, subscribe so you get notifications,